Hi, my name is Brittany and this is my testimonial. So I started with the Homebuyer process probably 3.5 to 4 years ago at this point. Before that, I was living with my parents, just saving like crazy with hopes of finding a first-time home, specifically a condo or a townhome with an in-unit washer and dryer, proper windows, so a lot of light, which I'm very thankful for, and preferably a loft-style condo or place, but not a deal breaker for me. I did a quick Google search and the first team that popped up was the Nathan Clark team. One thing that I highly recommend is making sure to do your research when it comes to looking for realtors. Make sure that they're rated well, make sure that there are different testimonies about different people's experiences. That is really what attracted me to the Nathan Clark team. So I got connected with my realtor, Adam. Shout out to Adam. He was amazing throughout the whole process. Another thing that I highly recommend is making sure that you have a solid professional relationship with your realtor, making sure that your needs are met and that they understand those needs. Anytime that I had a question or anything, Adam was so quick to give me answers or at least guide me in the right direction, which was super helpful. He was constantly telling me when there were places available and when we could go tour, and I just really appreciated that. There were times, I believe a couple times, where I couldn't make it to certain places and he would film for me, record the space, which really helped. So I was super thankful for him. He was also really patient. We toured probably close to 20 places. I was constantly up against investors and people that were downsizing that had cash on hand. At the time and currently, I am a nurse, so I'm very thankful that I was able to save, but there were certain offers that I just couldn't make because I was competing against people that could just provide higher down payment. So Adam, despite that, he was always very enthusiastic. It felt like I was just honestly like touring a place with a friend. It was a very nice experience, and I'm so incredibly grateful and thankful for him. So I was connected with Semper Home Loans. Mike, he was great. He explained everything to me, especially being a first-time home buyer. Both Adam and Mike were very thorough and made sure that, I would understand things before moving on to the next step. So incredibly grateful. I toured so many different places. I finally found this place in Cranston that was pretty close to my job, pretty close to my family, very close to the highway, like had all these perks on top of the things that I was requesting. So I ended up touring the place, fell in love with it, and put in an offer immediately. So I was putting in or submitting all the paperwork, signing all these documents, having Adam review stuff with me that I didn't understand, as well as Mike. And about 4 weeks later, I get a call from Mike asking if there's any way that I can put more of a down payment because I was getting the condo through the Rhode Island first-time home buyer loan, Rhode Island Housing, and I was able to put 5%, but they were asking for 10%. So it was something that was really difficult for me to do. If I had put the 10%, I would have had no money to pay for bills or, my future mortgage payments and everything. So it really was not a possibility for me. Mike did advocate for me, but unfortunately, Rhode Island Housing was pretty set on the 10%. And from what I remember, it was because the condo did not have like a reserve. Well, they did have a reserve, but it didn't meet the requirements of what Rhode Island Housing was asking. I could feel and understand the frustration from Mike, but he was really apologetic, which I appreciated. But I remember being very sad and frustrated and kind of hopeless during that time, just thinking about having to go back and do the whole process over again of trying to find another condo or townhome. But Mike and Adam were super supportive. Luckily, I didn't even get to the point where I was touring places because Mike reached out to me while I was at work, and he had said that he had some good news that I believe it was his manager. Shout out to the manager as well. I don't know his name, but he went down to Rhode Island Housing and really advocated for me, saying, you accepted the 5%, but now you're not, and it just didn't make any sense. And it just seemed they were for some reason just giving me a hard time because of the reserves. But he advocated for me. I was able to put another offer in and it got accepted. I filled out all the paperwork and everything everything, and I am now in my first time home. That is my dream home, especially as a first time buyer. I'm so thankful. I wake up every morning and I'm so thankful to have this space. I've been here for almost 2.5 years at this point, so I'm just incredibly thankful for the Nathan Clark team, Semper Home Loans. Incredibly thankful. But yeah, that's my experience, and I'm super grateful. I would highly recommend the Nathan Clark team for any buying or selling needs. They'll definitely not only explain things, but also really advocate for you, which is huge. So thank you.